And we're live. Hi everyone. Uh, so this is just a normal let's chat. But if you guys fancy taking the subject of this live stream in a certain route, say animals, news, whatever, just start putting it in the chat. Dun, dun. Right. So, updates with life is, well, thanks to lockdown number 2, I'm unemployed again. Luckily, I've been able to claim income support until I find another job, but it is a pain in the butt. What else is there? I'm actually on the plan. I'm planning on going to film tomorrow evening, so that should be up in the next week or two, if all goes according to plan. Sorry if I keep looking to the left-hand side or right-hand side for you. I don't know which one it is, but that's how I'm keeping an eye on the chat. For the fact that my phone's over there, not my phone, my laptop's there, so I can keep an eye on all the chat going on. What else is there? Oh, right. So this past year, I'd say this past year, more since the first lockdown, in the UK at least anyway, I've been trying to plan filming a documentary with Scott from Nature's Temper and a friend known by Rob. Was hopefully meant to be like last month, but then because of the whole lockdown, money situations for everyone, it just didn't happen. I am looking to do it next year, depending on how much longer this coronavirus stuff goes on and whether I've actually got an income or not. However, to do it, I will need to do some crowdfunding. So at some point in the near future, you may see me put up a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe, so that we can make the documentary. It's just to cover like the costs of doing it. Obviously, if I can do it without the costs, it's great, but you know, all depends on the situation. What else? Oh, the documentary would be about invasive alien creatures in the UK or creatures from other countries that are in the UK. How they affect our environment, like our natural environment. So there's wallabies up in Scotland, and there is video proof of this within the last few months, so I know they're there. There's scorpions near London. There's boar in the Forest of Dean. Round by me, there's sika deer. Well, multiple types of deer that don't belong in this country, like from China and Japan and things. Obviously, there's freshwater marine ones as well. So marine would be things like the sunfish and the triggerfish that we actually have off the coast in Bournemouth. Freshwater wise, we've got freshwater mussels and signal crayfish. So yeah, there's those. There's in London as well. There's actually African parakeets, I believe, or parakeets in general. So I'll be looking to go up there and have a look. And obviously, main ones in the UK are squirrels. Like the grey squirrels is decimated our red squirrel populations. So aiming for about a half-hour documentary, but obviously if it goes longer or if I have to separate it into different parts, so be it. I mean, if it works out and I need to separate it in different parts, should hopefully keep you guys interested for a while. Also, we're nearly at 5,500 subscribers, which is unbelievable, to be honest. The fact that I was away for a few months, come back and I'm on 5,000, that was a big shock. And the fact that obviously I last posted in November. I was meant to post a couple of weeks later, but then obviously I was made unemployed, so a lot of my spare time has been used to try and find employment, or at least some form of income to support me for the moment. Obviously that's not gone to plan, but the fact that in a month I've gone up to nearly 500, it's just baffles me. Yeah, what do I talk about, you know? Hold on, what's this? So, oh, no one's come in yet, so that's you know, things happen, but doesn't mean that I can't have a waffle or whatever you want to call it, just a ramble. I'm just going to turn the telly down a bit. So yeah, I don't know what to do really, or what to say, because today, past few weeks have been, as you know, a bit crap really in the UK, and they continue to be crap. On the brighter side, I turn 24 next week. Well, I say on the brighter side, but you know, another year of experience. Yeah. Let me just reply to Scotty Boy. What else is there? I mean, I've not really done. Oh, I actually have a place another abandoned place. Well, yeah, tomorrow's video is going to be an urbexer, like the one that I'm filming. There is another place that I want, where I'm going to go urbexing, that I've been to once before. I went before, just scope it out because I was a little unsure of the place, but it was a good find. But I say find, I was shown where it was. But it's I'll film when I make the video. It'll come up. Hello, whoever has just joined. Let's take a look. Oh, okay, they just disappeared. So I mean, at some point I am going to try and do some, I don't want to say gaming videos, but more just like chill out live streams, playing video games just to pass some time. I mean, like playing Mario Kart or something, but because I recently got gifted a Switch, so it's kind of cool, I guess. But and also got this as a present off Google. I got the Google Stadia, so that's an interesting thing to play. Hello, whoever has just joined. So, what else is there to talk about? Yeah, I've been growing my hair out recently, so. Oh, I've been doing a lot of fishing. I mean, started back in the last lockdown fishing and yeah. Nani? Hey Scott. And yeah, I've caught several bass, whitings and stuff. Cousin who I've been going fishing with has caught more than me. He's caught eels, he's caught bass, he's caught whitings, he's caught cod and gurnard. So that's interesting. A lot of the time, majority of what I catch is, well, like actual crabs, like red velvets and things. So we have caught a few gobies while hand fishing, and some wrasse. We actually caught shrimp the other day, while we were setting like shrimp traps. What else is there? Yeah, I was just explaining, Scott, how like I was planning to do the documentary, but obviously that hasn't gone to plan. Hopefully, we can do it next year, depending on stuff, but all depends on whether I can find a job or not, and whenever you're available. It sucks. But yeah. Yeah, I know you're free almost any time, mate, but right now I'm trying to live off whatever I get off benefits, pretty much, because that's how bad my job situation is. I've had to go on benefits to try and survive. And I'm lucky to get by on 50 quid a week, because that's all they're giving me. I have enough. Yeah, no worries, lad. No worries. I mean, a lot happened over the last month or so. Hi Chantel. Nice to hear from you, Han. Yeah, fuck this lockdown, honestly. I'm good, Han. I recently had 2 interviews last week, the week before, and yeah, neither of them have got back to me, even though they said they'd get back to me by yesterday. Yeah, there you go. And I mean, they were good job opportunities. It's just, I think the main reason I got let down by them was the fact that they were both. The feedback I got was great. It's just because we were in tier 2 down here, and one of the places was just pure selling wine. So that one was a no-go, and the other one, because it was a brand new place that was opening up and it's got a bigger venue, he's focusing more on his bigger venue than the new one, so that he still has an income coming in. That one would have been cool. I would have been a manager at that one, so. But hopefully, no matter what, I'm coming up to see you, Chantel, in a couple months. I'm hoping, anyway. Whether it's just for a drink or whatever, just chill out and shit. Yeah, exactly. That's all I'm doing. Looking for anything. Yeah, I can't wait either, because like I said, I'll let you give me a makeover. Yeah, I guess so. You got our Chantel. I mean, you could do. You bring your Lego, I'll bring my Switch. And we just have a laugh. Yeah, you know. Actually, that was going to be what I would ask you nearer to the time, Shanners. So, yeah, that works out perfectly. Good. Because what, it's been over a year since I last saw any of you, which is mad. It was around last Halloween, I think, because I had a night out with you, Rob, and Abby, and I stayed at Scott's for a couple of days, or we went to Blue Planet for a day and did his werewolf video. Yeah, time does fly fast, whatever. Yeah, that's Scott with his successful YouTube channel. Yeah, it was the fact that we freaked out when we saw the big lights turn on, and when you howled and we heard a bloody howl back. Oh, it's some big news for you, Scott. I finally got monetized. So, that was good. Yeah, he's got a huge personality, especially when he makes his bloody pec stance. But, no. Yeah, we're up to $8 earned so far, so that's cool. Actually, I do have a plan if you come back down this end. We've got a old castle ruins here that's quite popular called Corfe Castle. And I went there a couple nights ago. Yeah, you, Chantel, if you want to come down, whatever. And it's more of like a ghost thing at night, because we walked past this river and we heard crying. And I mean, to the point that we felt like it was next to us and we didn't see anyone. And you couldn't actually get to the other side because it was all fenced off. But it sounded like it was right next to us. And then as we're walking back to the car, we heard cannon fire. And yeah. Primal Radiance. Who's that? Hi, Primal. Yeah, we heard cannon fire. We heard like musket shots, and like it's just very distinct to the fact I live near a tank base, but they're not allowed to fire during like nighttime. And I've heard musket fire and cannon fire before from the times that they've had like historical reenactments down here for the fact that we used to be a big smuggler's bay. There's loads of smugglers' tunnels that have been closed off. But yeah, we were there at like 11 o'clock at night and we just heard all this. We saw loads of lights flying around the castle and all sorts. I did actually manage to catch it once on like my night vision camera, but since I moved, I've lost where I put it. Because we saw like things leaning in and out of windows and stuff like that. And then because my mum and fiance have to drive past it to work, or get to work, they actually saw a big like canid, like canine shadow go across the road at night, but there was nothing attached to the shadow. So, because like it was a full moon and everything, and they didn't see anything. So I'm hoping to go up there late, like even overnight. Yeah, I believe it was a shuck. We have legends of shucks around here. One was actually like reported near my, like when I went to Bournemouth Uni, like near a woods around there. So that was kind of cool, to be honest. We have loads of historical ghost stuff around here because there's bits of the Civil War that were fought down here. There's loads of places where people have died, unfortunate deaths. I mean, and then also I want to try and get back onto Bounce Island like I did last year for an overnight, because they have loads of bats. Yeah, shuck is kind of like, it's like a big black canine with red eyes, but some reports have red eyes, some reports don't. And they're considered hellhounds in some cases, things like that, but they're always in like the corner of your eye, never really in front of you. If they're in front of you, it's really rare. But yeah, so yeah, I do want to do stuff like that, and I'll take you guys urbexing if you want, like show you around. I'm actually going urbexing tomorrow for the video, like I've been explaining earlier on in the stream. And then I'm also going urbexing to show someone a place on Saturday, because they got in touch with me about a place that they found really interesting, but they could no longer go there as it's being developed. But there's another place near there where we can go, which used to be an old ammunitions factory. And the last time I went, we saw like a shrine, so yeah, could be cool. It's just really hard to film anything around me at the minute because everything's in hibernation unless it's a deer or a fox, but I hear deer every night. Oh yeah, I know there's loads of places. There's the old Denby Asylum. Shekan. I know some old, back where my mum used to do stuff like that, and sometimes she still does. I sometimes join her with it. We've done like joint meditations, we do scrying, like tarot cards and things. So we've even done the thing where you sat in front of a mirror under candlelight and you see your face change, which is cool. I want to at some point, if I can find the bloody thing, look at my mum's old hard drive, because she used to have a video of people just walking out of their cupboard, which was back when we lived, like, where I lived in high school. So that's a cool one. Yeah, what we'd have the sorceress, or the pagan sorceress. Scott would be the bard barbarian, I guess. And I'll just be the guy at the back. Nah. Mage barbarian and Ty caller. And thank you for saying that I look good, Shanners, because that's actually kind of a confidence booster, because I've not really seen anyone other than family or fiance like last month or so. Yeah. I mean, I'm getting near your hair length, Scott, at least on the top. Yeah, that's the look I'm going for, the Viking look. And I've lost a bit of weight recently, so, you know, I'll be catching up to you with the six-pack. I mean, I still have to get like 2XL and 3XL t-shirts to fit, but I do feel better. Hi Caitlin, have you been to these streams before? She's doing alright, hun. She's currently at work tonight. She works a couple night shifts a week with my mum. To Thor's exploring nature. Yeah, I'm Fat Thor. He's traditional Thor. So there you go. He's Infinity War, I'm Endgame. I mean, you should have seen me a couple of weeks ago. My beard was down to here. I had this hair growing up down to here. This was all the way further down. I just had it trimmed recently. Primal, have you been on these streams before? Because I don't think I've seen your name before. And if so, welcome to the channel. And same for you, Caitlin, when you come back. Yeah, she's doing alright. She's got a few of her own things going on, but yeah, let her know you said hi. And every time I talk to you or like Rob or Scott or anyone from the Liverpool family, she always says hi if she's in the same room or asks how you've been, and I just go off what you've told me. So but there is, I mean, I have had some low points in the last year. One of them was, well, everyone saw it all over Facebook and everything when my sister went missing. Oh, that's, well, welcome, mate. Thank you for being with us, well, with me for that long. How did you find this channel, by the way? I'm just curious. Like, was it through Scott when I've done stuff with him, or was it through Twitter, or that would be interesting to know. Yeah, with I had my sister go missing. Luckily, we found her literally within 24 hours. But thank you, hon. But also the reason I stopped posting for so long is because back in July I had a bit of a mental breakdown, and it's safe to say if I hadn't stopped myself, I wouldn't be sat here right now. And so that needs to be put out in the open. I have sought help since. I haven't had much help, but what I've been doing is I've just been spending more time with my family, focusing on spending time with my siblings and my mum. Like, even though I've finally moved out of my grandparents' place, I still visit once or twice a week. And I go and visit. Ah, well, welcome to the channel, Caitlin. It's good to have you here. Welcome to the Ocean family, I guess we call it. I've never had a nickname for people that have subbed to the channel. I'm always wary. Like, it's nothing bad, Scott. It's just last time I called you, you were in Costa Rica, so I never know what's going on. The show, yeah, the show works. The show. But no, thank you for the offer. Thank you for being there, mate. Even if you're not there in person. And same for you, Chantel. Even though you're not there in person, I know you're there. Oh, thank you, Caitlin. Like, that's it's kind of put a bit of jump, like skipping my step, I want to say. But yeah, even though I've moved into my own place, it's not that big, but it's just bigger than what I had in university. But for 700 quid a month, I ain't gonna complain. But But yeah, so every Sunday I'm over my mum's, whether, or, except maybe twice, where I've gone over my grandmother's instead, or just decided I just need a day closed off to myself. But yeah, and then I go in, every Friday I go shopping with my nan. One, because I'm down as one of her carers. But yeah, I pay £700 a month on rent, and then plus all my bills, it comes up to around £900 a month. See you in a minute, hun. And I'm not gonna lie, like, it's a brilliant place. I've got a 1-bedroom flat. The only thing I have about it is the fact that I have carpet in my bathroom, which is weird, but I'm not allowed to like pull it up because the landlord will fine me if I do that. But I've got a garden, which is weird. I've got a garage, again, weird, but I'm not going to complain. And because I'm on the 2nd floor, I overlook a nature reserve, which is cool. All I see is the reeds in the distance, but it's still cool. It's still, like, I can just look out my window and just look at nature. The only downside, yeah, it is cool. I mean, I can literally just walk around to the corner and I'm at a nature reserve, mate. The only downside is I'll be led in bed around this time, anywhere between now and 10 in the morning, and I just hear deer calls all night. I mean, oh, this is going to be a bad impersonation, but all I hear is, ha, ha. That's all I hear for about 12 hours. That and the missus snoring. So there's been many a night where yeah, there are a few of them around here. Luckily, not on the street I live, just near my mum. Yeah, they are going mad. I think it's. I was being given a lift home one night from work, and we nearly went into. Oh, that's cool. Like, you've done more than me today. All I've done is get up. Literally had a shower 2 hours ago. And I've just been watching, like, Buffy the Vampire Slayer on Prime. So that's all I've really done today. That and cook my missus some food when she woke up for work. But yeah, like, we're driving home one night about 11 o'clock, which is one of the later times I've stayed at work, and nearly ran into an entire herd of about 10 deer. In the fact that they stopped in the middle of the road as we were coming around the corner at about 30, and they just stood there, and we had to emergency stop, and the deer just stayed there for like 10 minutes before they fucked off. Moved off. And then one decided to just cross the road again in front of us, which was, but yeah, that was an interesting one. I mean, every time I've walked home from where I work to go to the train station, or just walked home, like the hour walk, because there's no public transport and there was no one to give me a lift. Night, Scott. Hi, Dobbo. Yeah, so I'd see loads of deers and they'd just jump out and shit like that. I mean, I've seen bats, I've seen foxes on the way home, and the odd person. Dobbo, you fishing this weekend? Yeah. let me know what day and the time. I'll come along. Yeah. Do you want me to get some bait this week? Oh, what am I? I've seen bats, I've seen foxes on the way home. Just got your dick. The odd person. Dog, are you fishing this weekend? Yeah. Yeah, if you're up for some fishing, lad, I don't mind. How is it that? So you, for it to be that early, you've got to be like Australia or yeah, I want to say Australia. Either that or somewhere like Asia, Africa, or something like that. And don't you ha 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 me, you dick. Yeah, where I am, you go out during the day, you'll rarely see anything. If you do, it's generally summer and you've got to go looking for it. I mean, the amount of times over like the spring and the summer that I went out looking for stuff with the aim of finding a certain animal and I didn't find anything, or just go for a general look and I found 1 or 2 animals, but that's it. Mate, I mean, there was one all summer, like all spring, all summer, I'd been looking for Britain's only venomous snake, because we have a good, healthy population of them down here. And wasn't until like the last day of summer that I actually saw some. Like the last day of August, finally saw some. When got my camera out, filmed them, everything, and then they slithered off. Went back to review the footage. It didn't record, and I was so gutted. I'd spent basically 2 years looking for them, and all the footage was gone. Our neighbourhood has seagulls and pigeons. That's what you get from living in the centre of a town, you know. And Caitlin, I'm guessing I'm along the right lines with that then. So, but yeah, Primal, that's it's cool to have nature around you. Really. I mean, any conservation zone, no matter what, is cool. Sorry about them. That's my cousin and her fiance. You. Because I don't want to swear on stream. But yeah. Yeah, a lot of nature reserves, you're only going to see stuff at night, or like the stuff they're conserving for, like the ones that you rarely see because of how vulnerable or endangered they are. Don't you sorry current me, you wait, I'm going to fill your kids up on chocolate and then see who's laughing. Either that or I'm going to throw Ryan in the water. Yeah, don't worry, that's fine, but this is what I mean, mate. Like, I brought all that braid, and that's how much is still left. Like, there's a good couple 100 meters on there. The kids, well, one of them will be laughing, one of them will just look pissed off, to be honest. But yeah, she keeps looking. Oh, that's nice, Kim. You love him, really. Uh, ah, what else to talk about, man? I don't know, someone just say something and we'll start a discussion on it. Uh, what have I done this since last video? Other than look for a job. Not much, to be honest. I don't know. I don't do politics, mate. If you want political stuff, ask my brother. Ask Alex. Yeah, chew your ears off for a couple of hours about that. Like, most politics I do is calling ours on. All sorts. Just calling him all sorts of names because I don't like him. So yeah, that's my view on politics. Top 10. Alright, yeah, that's one. Top 10 shark facts. So, there's a species of epaulet called the epaulet shark, and a few others that are connected to it called walking sharks or walking cat sharks. They use the two pectoral fins, which are the ones where your arms would be, to walk along the floor. Epaulets, though, will walk across, like come out the water physically, and like walk like that to the next rock pool to get food. Another fact. Their bones are made out of cartilage. Fact 3, their brains are shaped like women's ovaries. If you don't believe me, look that up because it is the weirdest looking brain you've ever seen. They have continuous supply of teeth throughout their entire life. Shark fossils rarely fossilized. I've only ever seen one in my entire life of a shark fossil, where it was like the complete skeleton, not just the jaw. Fact number 10, the oldest living animal on the planet is the Greenland shark, with the oldest member that was being recorded at about 393 years old. And they don't actually sexually mature until they're 100. So that's a long life. Goblin sharks, as far as I'm aware, are the only sharks that have a jaw that shoots out to catch its prey, to gulp them up. So that's fact number 7. Fact number 10. The cookie cut shark brought down some naval vessels for the fact that it would gnaw into submarines and cause havoc on their circuit boards and things like that. So it was a shark, literally about this big, nearly brought down the entire, a lot of the US Navy during World War II. There's glow in the dark sharks. Swordfish, although technically related to sharks, are not actually sharks. Sword sharks are sharks, but swordfish are a completely different species. So, what do you think about fictional underwater cities like what you see in Bioshock and some interpretations of Atlantis? I won't lie, I haven't really played Bioshock, but I have seen gameplays and I think that's bloody awesome. If I could live underwater and see fish swimming around all the time, that'd be like heaven for me. and yes, it would be wet. Interpretations of Atlantis depends on the interpretation. So I grew up watching, when I was younger, one of my favourite films was Atlantis, The Lost Empire by Disney, and I loved it. Like that whole, like their whole language is the root of all other languages, which is why they could speak perfect English and stuff like that. That was a bit weird, but the fact they designed their own language for it was amazing. And the fact that there weren't all mermaids as well, like, was cool. Because honestly, like, if there's an underwater city, to get like mermaids and that, don't get me wrong, it probably could happen. Like we know it can happen because whales went back into, like, came onto land and then went back into the water. So did dolphins, you know. So it's possible. It's just they wouldn't be breathing water. They would have to come up to the surface for air and then back down. But like the version in Aquaman, that's kind of cool. Like, you know, like how Atlantis technically is broken up into different little mini empires, and each one's mutated in a different way. Like you got your fish people, you got your regular looking fish people, you've got your crab people. That's kind of cool. And obviously, yeah, they would probably have to work in harmony with most sea life to get by. Yeah, Atlantis is a cool topic. Like, they found two gold coins recently. Like, no one knows the language that's on them. No one knows the iconography, but because they were found in a large body of water, it's actually believed to be stuff from Atlantis. But we won't know until it's carbon dated and things. So when they release news on that, that would be cool. And yes, and as Dobbo has put, it would be wet down there. But like he wouldn't want to live underwater. We've got people who want to live in space and everything. Yeah, that's cool. Living in water is just as cool. I've done scuba diving. Like I've done 6 dives altogether, and that was bloody cool. Like feeling weightless in a way. I would have put it to probably compared to space. Obviously, I don't know. I've never been to space, except obviously you are floating around, but you've got more pressure on you where you actually, when you're moving, you've got some like resistance to you, and having to communicate just like doing that and stuff like that. That's cool. And seeing the fish, that like without any barriers between you. So being in an underwater world without a barrier, the only thing between you and the fish is literally your wetsuit and your goggles. Which, for me, at one point, I didn't have the goggles because the fish knocked the goggles off my head, which I didn't think it would do. But that was cool. So, you know, I've been trying to swim around like that, looking for my goggles and managing to grab them and put them back on. I made the wrong choice in getting black goggles on that one because it was hard to see. Depends, like, where I went scuba diving, because it's a freshwater lake, and the fish in there, I put in there so people can fish, yeah. But all the fishing's on one side, the scuba diving's on the other. Obviously, they come over to the other side, and they're used to people coming around. Obviously, at the higher depths of water, as you go lower towards like I'm qualified to swim down to 18 meters or about 60 foot. Obviously, there are people who are trying to go deeper than that, which is where more fish would reside, as they're not going to be seen as much. But the fish in there I think they're only allowed to fish once a week because of the fact how many scuba diving lessons and stuff like that go on there. But when I was scuba diving, I got to go, I saw what it would look like if a car had been underwater for years. I got to swim through a aeroplane that was disused, but they cut it up and they sunk it to teach people how to rescue from underwater situations. I actually got to swim through one of the parts. The lowest point that I went to at 18 meters was inside a rock crushing machine. So that was cool. I'm actually looking to go scuba diving at some point again soon when I've got the money. So I'm also looking at doing some free diving. So that's diving down without a tank of air. You just got to hold your breath to an extent, because if you hold your breath too long, your lungs will burst. But I want to learn how to do that so that I can do some cage snorkeling with sharks in Cornwall, which would be interesting to do. Because if I do that, I should see some blue sharks and things like that. Because they take you to one of their migrating grounds or feeding grounds, so you can see them in action. Right. What else is there? I mean, other than that, the only interactions I've really had with fish is ones that I've had in fish tanks. When I've gone to aquariums, actually the aquarium around here has opened up again, so I might go back for a video. And all the times I've gone fishing and we've managed to catch stuff. Well, one of us anyway. Any other topics you guys want to talk about that aren't political? Because that is one thing I'm not getting into, because I will end up in a whole heap of poop. It's weird saying. Yes, I have actually played some Nautica. I haven't played much of it because I downloaded it, played it for a couple hours on my Xbox, because I don't have PC unfortunately. And then after that I had to go to work. And I just worked and worked and worked until I moved out. So, until I moved places. So, I've played it, I quite enjoy it, just haven't played it much. The only game I've played more than that is, with that sort of theme, is Ark Survival. One of my favourite things to do on that is to build underwater bases. Like taming megalodons and things like that, so yeah. Right. Oh, sorry. Trying to think, what else is there? Doobie-doo. Doobie-doo. Right. Sorry, man. Noise. Sorry, just replying to a message. And I'm back. So yeah, I mean, I do want to play more survival games like that. Just any aquatic games really. As you can tell by my name, like my YouTube channel, I really like nature. It's mostly aquatic life. I mean, Scott has me beaten most knowledge on freshwater, especially freshwater around Britain. I mainly only know some big fish in Britain. When it comes to marine stuff, I kind of have an advantage on him. But my knowledge of freshwater is more tropical, sort of freshwater, so things from like a guppy